A few weeks ago, I decided to sit down and watch all 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies in one day. Once the greatest day of my life was over, I was left thinking about the complex lore the movies set up and the real-life counterparts that it's associated with. So, that's why we're here. All of my tunnel-visioned research for the past 4 weeks is about to get info vomited back onto you. Gross. The lore inside the Pirates universe is pretty straightforward, but they do a shitty job explaining it. So, bear with me. Before Davy Jones was the scary octopus man that we know and love, he was a great human Scottish sailor. He loved the sea more than anything else, so much that the goddess of the sea named Calypso, a literal manifestation of the sea, appeared and fell in love with Jones. Calypso gave Jones a job. He had to guide the souls who died at sea safely to the afterlife, with the only downside being he could only step on land for 1 day every 10 years. In exchange, he could be immortal and with Calypso forever. He accepts, and Calypso vows to meet up with him again after 10 years. In 10 years, Joan walks on land to meet Calypso, but she doesn't show. Calypso, like the sea, cannot be controlled or contained. Jones feels betrayed, and like he was tricked into being a servant for all of eternity. He bounded Calypso to human form and cut out his heart so he wouldn't have to feel the pain and guilt of losing her. He abandoned his job and instead made deals with dying pirates to extend their life in exchange for 100 years of service on his ship, the Flying Dutchman. After abandoning his job, he became consumed by the sea. His ship, his crew, and himself started being corrupted by the sea, giving them their aquatic features. In Dead Man's Chest, we learn that Jack made a deal with Davy Jones. He wanted his ship, the Wicked Wench, to rise from the depths of the ocean. Jones agrees and raised and renamed the Black Pearl, and allows Jack to be captain for 13 years. Jack receives the Black Mark to learn Jones is ready to cash in on his side of the agreement, sending the Kraken to finish off Jack. But whoever possesses the heart of Davy Jones controls him and the Dutchman. Jones's real-life story is the hardest to pin down, so we'll start there. There are 3 main stories of the term Davy Jones and Davy Jones Locker that I found while researching. The first is that Davy Jones owned a pub in London. He would drug and kill sailors and store their bodies in the pub's locker, or ale cellar. Another possible origin of Davy Jones comes from the 1751 book, The Adventures of Peregrine Pickle. The novel depicts Davy Jones as a demon of the depths of the ocean. A locker is a small box that keeps the belongings of pirates at sea. Davy Jones is said to keep the souls of the damned inside his locker as a form of purgatory. Another story is from the 1726 novel, The 4-Year Voyages of Captain George Roberts. This retells Davy Jones as Jonah from the Bible. Jonah boards a ship against God's will. He is eaten by a whale and is let out 3 days later, cursed by the sea. The famous ship, the Flying Dutchman, has a more agreed-upon origin. In 1641, Hendrik van der Decken, an explorer working for the Dutch East India Company, was on his way back from an exploration from India to Amsterdam, passing through the Cape of Good Hope on the south tip of Africa. He sold his soul to the devil for the fastest vessel. There was a huge storm threatening to sink his ship. He grabs a silver crucifix and yells at the bow of his ship, "Are you punishing me for giving my soul to your rival? Is this your way of challenging and humiliating me? To prove you are supreme and I must submit to your will? When the only thing I want is to go back home? I have the right to make deals with whoever my soul desires." He then ran to the helm, lifted the crucifix into the sky, and exclaimed, "You are unable to stop me. I am the Lord of the sea, and even the devil himself fears me. No storm, god, or demon shall stop me." Hendrik van der Decken crashes his ship on the south tip of Africa, and his dying wish was to finish his journey around the Cape of Good Hope. On stormy nights, people see the ship fighting to finish its journey, as the Flying Dutchman is now a ghost ship, damned to sail forever. Few legends have stood the test of time, such as the Kraken. One of the first written mentions dates back to King Sverre of Norway, back in 1180. He writes about a giant tentacled monster swimming and following him throughout Norway, Greenland, and Iceland. Later, in 1735, Carl Linnaeus published his Swedish zoology textbook describing a gargantuan squid monster who tears down sailors. This popularized the countless stories sailors tell of octopus-like creatures grabbing them and dragging them down to the depths to die. Let's rapid-fire some of these appearances. Some historians believe the Kraken to be the Leviathan mentioned in the Bible's Book of Job. Others claim it to be the beast that Thor slayed in Norse mythology. How the fuck do I say this? Why is it that when I write these scripts, I put in words that I don't know how to say?
Charybdis.
Charybdis. And there's Charybdis, the sea monster mentioned in the Odyssey. And of course, there's the most famous encounters of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Moby Dick. Dick. What I think I find the most interesting is the theories that are pushing the actual existence of the Kraken. There's a lot of debate about this, but people claim that in the same way the ancient Megalodon now lives on through the great white shark, the Kraken lives through the giant and colossal squid. Is this true? I don't fucking know, I just googled it, and apparently the Megalodon has no relation to the great white shark. I don't really know what point was being made. Another cool piece of evidence is the ichthyosaur bones. Cephalopods do this really cool thing where they kill their prey and lay all their bones out in a nice neat pile on the bottom of the ocean. Let's look back to the ichthyosaur. These guys are huge. The claim is that not even the colossal squid is big enough to take out this giant. However, the bones are often found in neat little piles on the ocean floor. I hope this video was at least a little bit educational. Pirates have always been a fascinating topic. Fiction and non-fiction, the history and stories have always encaptured my interest. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something or just understand the pirates lore a bit better. Make sure to subscribe because the higher that number goes, the better I feel about myself on the inside.